Welcome to my way too early 2024 NFL mock draft. Remember, a lot of what I'm doing in this mock draft is based on what I did in my 2023 NFL mock draft that I did a few days earlier. So check that video out first. But the purpose of this is really just to highlight some of the players who may not be eligible for the 2023 draft. This is going to be a load of fun. I used a very scientific method to figure out the draft order. Basically, I put I put the teams on a wheel, spun it, and that's who got to pick first. Yes, very scientific indeed. So if you're wondering about the draft order, that's how it came about. But what's crack-a-lack? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football Discord. Special thanks to Manscaped for sponsoring the video. You can get 20% off plus free shipping when you use promo code Broshmo at checkout. Manscaped, they like to keep your nads smelling and looking fresh. Let's go ahead, get into this sucker. With the Lions are drafted number 1, and they're going Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is just special. That guy has special zip on the ball in terms of what he could do, mobility. It's amazing. I imagine since the Lions currently don't have the answer at quarterback, and if you go to my 2023 draft, we ended up drafting Will Anderson and Christian Rodriguez. So no, we didn't get that answer in the first round of the 2023 draft. So easy one, we're gonna go Caleb Williams. And number 2, I have the Texans going Joe Alt. If you go back to my 2023 mock draft with the Texans, I took, who did I take? Bryce Young, I took Tyree Wilson, and then I took Josh Downs as like the second round pick. But Joe Alt has been really good this season. In his first, I believe it's his first year as a starter. Let's go take a look at that. No, he saw time last year, which surprising. We all thought, or at least I thought, Blake Fisher would have been the guy that kind of emerged for Notre Dame, which he has. He's had a good season, but not like Joe Alt, a guy with a very impressive 6'7" frame that's 317 pounds. So I think he might be the top tackle in this class right now. But though there are a couple other names that will be contesting for that. Texans, Titus Howard is a free agent after this season, after the 2023 season. So they might need a new tackle. Marvin Harrison Jr. going to the Bears. This is, in fact, the Bears pick because if you remember in my mock draft for 2023, I had the Bears trade down with the Panthers. The Panthers had to give away a 2024 draft pick. So this is actually the Bears pick. The Bears will have another pick later on. But can you imagine pairing Marvin Harrison Jr. up with Darnell Mooney and Chase Claypool? That is just beautiful for Justin Fields. You just setting him up for success. I like it. I took Myles Murphy for the Bears in the 2023 draft. The Dallas Cowboys, yeah, let's just assume stuff hit the fan. Maybe Dak got hurt, Cooper Rush got hurt, so he could come in there and win games. Let's just imagine injuries kind of happen. So for a team that already has like a really solid group of players, I went with I would say probably, I really think this might be the top defender in the 2024 class. To be fair, I haven't done a big deep dive on any of these guys, but Kool-Aid McKinstry, straight up, first off, best name in the draft, Kool-Aid. Oh yeah! But this dude has been amazing this season. He is only allowed a 47% catch rate. He has 13 pass breakups. He has an interception. He was all right the year before as well. So, yeah, it's 6'1", 188. Like, getting that other starter cross from Trevon Diggs, because Anthony Brown, is a free agent actually after a season before this. But we went with Siaki Ika in the 2023 class, so we grab a corner here. On to pick number 5 being Quentin Ewers going to the Seahawks. I think they're eventually going to have to go quarterback. Geno Smith, they might be able to extend to a 1 or 2 year deal. But Quentin Ewers, he had an all right first year as a starter for the Longhorns. There were some flashes, but there were also some duds. So maybe another year of consistency. Like, we know this guy has tools. So another year of consistency gets him up in that conversation. being a top quarterback in this class. Baltimore Ravens, let's just assume maybe Lamar got hurt or something. Something happened. It is what it is. But we took Jackson Smith and Jigba in our 2023 mock, I believe. Yes, we did. So I'm taking Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia. He had a big time interception to start the year in that Oregon game. He's kind of been hush-hush since, but he's been solid there with Keely Ringo. And I think he's probably going to be another guy we're talking about as one of the top corners in this class. Drake May going to the Colts. We didn't address a quarterback for the Colts in our 2023 mock. We took Peter Skoronski. Drake May, good shot. He is going to be up there with Ewers fighting for that QB2 spot. He had a great year as a redshirt freshman. He'll be a redshirt sophomore next season, and hopefully, despite missing like Josh Downs, who's going to be leaving, hopefully he could kind of build upon what he did this season. That was something with Sam Howell we didn't quite see. Sam Howell, he had a banger freshman year, but didn't really build up on that from a passing standpoint. He actually became a little bit more reliant on his legs. Hopefully the same thing doesn't really happen with May. Tennessee Titans, we took Jalen Hyatt in 2023. Here we're going to take Olu Fashanu. It's going to be a good argument between three of these offensive tackles. Who's going to be the top guy? Joe Alt, Olu Fashanu, or a guy we're going to see fairly soon? Fashanu, big surprise. Thought he was going to be a top 10 pick for the 2023 class. I heard a lot of that was he just didn't expect a rise like this in his first year as a starter. He didn't expect to get all this attention, but he is returned to Penn State. Hopefully he could stay healthy, and he, for all intents and purposes, should be a top 10 pick in the 2024 class. And then on to pick 9 being Michael Hall Jr. That defensive line for Ohio State, they just keep pumping in and out talent. They got Tyleek Williams in there as well. Michael Hall, though, man, I think has been the most dominant interior player for Ohio State. And can you imagine just getting that next to Chris Jones? I imagine Patrick Mahomes got hurt. This is why the Chiefs are picking 9. But like I said, it was a scientific method, very scientific method how I picked this draft order. Dallas Turner going to the Cardinals. I'm not sold on Dallas Turner being the top edge in this class. There's a couple of other guys I think they kind of interest me, but he's the one with the proven production as of right now. We know Cardinals, they need some pass rush and help. I grabbed Cam Smith in the 2023 class, so now we get that edge. Brock Bowers going to the Jags. Isn't it wild that Brock Bowers having a good year, but it's still actually a down year compared to his freshman season? That's kind of wild. It just tells you how good he is. He is going to be worthy of a top 10 pick. He is just I hate throwing generational around, but he's going to be an extremely good tight end prospect. So the Jags get that for Trevor Lawrence. Xavier Worthy going to the Patriots. There's some good wide receivers potentially in this class, Worthy being one of them. There might be a case where he will be contending with Marvin Harrison Jr., but I'm not there yet with that. Worthy, good size, good vertical ability, going to the Patriots here. Patriots did take Broderick Jones in the 2023 class. And then here's the other tackle I was talking about, J.C. Latham out of Alabama. He's playing right tackle currently. I imagine he moves to left tackle because the left tackle they got there right now is the former Vandy transfer. So I think he's gone after this season. I think that's last year of eligibility, but he has been amazing this season. Like, that offensive line has kind of been meh for Alabama, but like Latham has been like the lone bright spot. And the Bengals, I think they could probably use maybe an upgrade over a Jonah Williams, or maybe if La'el Collins doesn't or continues to regress or doesn't progress. Like this season's been rough for him. Mecca Egbuka going to the Falcons. They get a nice after the catch target. This guy, what he can do after the catch is really, really good. Falcons, we traded down in the 2023 draft and ended up selecting Bijan. But can you imagine now that your offense consists of Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, and Emeka Ibuka. That's freaking wild. The Raiders, we get some pass rush help for them in JT Tuimoloau. This dude was phenomenal in the Penn State game. I imagine as he gets more snaps, as he's kind of stuck in a rotation there, that we're just going to see this cat really pop off. Ohio State's got a lot of interesting prospects. There's going to be a lot more Ohio State names in this mock draft. Then we got Cameron Kitchens, the safety out of Miami. Not the safety you may have thought of, but this cat is a ball hawk. He has been so impressive. I believe he is a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, something like that. But this safety class, I think, right now, right off the get-go, I look at it and I'm like, holy moly, this could be a very good safety class. So Broncos, they get an upgrade from an agent Kareem Jackson. All right, we got Leonard Taylor going to the Chicago Bears. Remember, this is via the Carolina Panthers. This is the Panthers pick. That trade I made in the 2023 mock. Leonard Taylor, they didn't get their interior. Matt Eberflus loves interior, defensive interior linemen. If you can tell, I mean, just look at guys like invest in draft capital to get DeForest Buckner, Deo Odenigbo. So they that's all back in Indy. So they get Leonard Taylor here, who is a freaking monster of a man. Antoine Wells Jr. out of South Carolina, former James Madison transfer, has had a very strong end to the season. Don't know, he's actually eligible for 2023, and I haven't heard word if he would come out, but I think if he stays for another season, I think a lot of those South Carolina prospects offensively might stay another year. And I think that would just really help increase his stock, a guy that we need to be talking about. Finally, the Packers, they go with a receiver in the first round. Jeremiah Trotter going to the Jets here. The Jets, I grabbed... I traded up for a freaking quarterback. But Jeremiah Trotter, this guy deserves to go higher. He is going to be, I think, the top linebacker prospect in this 2024 class by right now a mile. Like, I don't know if anyone's really close to him. Like, this dude has been freaking fabulous, and I can't wait to actually go back and do a true eval for him. Zach Zittner going to the San Francisco 49ers. They need interior help. And Zittner, he's been very good this season. Might not have ideal length or ideal measurements, so that's something you may need to look out for, but he's been really good for Michigan. On the interior, one of their more consistent linemen there with Oluwatimi. So Zittner, definitely a guy to watch out for. Haven't really done a dive into the interior prospects, but this was one of the guys that caught my eye during the season. Then at 21, we got the Rams. They finally get a first-round pick. Jack Sawyer at Ohio State, another guy that I can't wait to see when they increase his usage, what he will do. But he's got the measurables. Ohio State pumps out these just ridiculous pass rushers on the defensive line. I think he's going to be the next in line for that. Cam Ward, I'm really sold on Cam Ward not coming out. If he does, I'll be shocked. I think he's still a bit raw, and another year will do him good. Tom Brady can't play forever, and I don't know if Kyle Trask is the answer. So, Jason Marshall Jr., corner out of Florida, going to Washington. Washington, who did we select? I think it was Broderick Jones, right? No, we got Anthony Richardson. There we go. So now we get another Florida prospect. This guy's got good size, man. 6'1", 198. He's been very consistent the last 2 seasons for Florida. He's been starting since he was a freshman. So definitely a guy to put on your radar. 7 pass breakups this season, allowing a completion rate of 54%. And then Denzel Burke going to the Giants. Giants will need to replenish those corners. I don't think they have a real top-notch corner, at least on the outside right now. So I think Burke would be a fabulous addition. A guy that's not necessarily having a down year. He's just being thrown to a lot less this season, and he only has 5 pass breakups to show for it. He has had like he's been for the most part fairly like really consistent this season, and good size at 6'1", 190. Right on to the Chargers. They go Mason Smith. This cat, we didn't see him this year. He had a season ACL injury on the little celebration in the Florida State game, and he's been out the rest of the year. But we've seen what he did as a freshman. I think he's going to be in the mix here to be a top interior player, and Chargers could definitely use some of that. Eagles, we did not get Brian Brazee in the Eagles 2023 draft. We came away with Keely Ringo, and then I grabbed a tackle, and all y'all complained about it. Whatever, I don't care. We got Jerzon Newton, a guy I think is eligible for the 2023 class, but I think there's a good chance he is likely to return. This cat's been really good. He's like, first off, looks like Predator. If you're looking for him on the field, he's got the dreads, freaking amazing. He flies. I love his close and burst. He is currently 6th in college football in terms of pressures with 54, a phenomenal run stuffer, a cat that I think could fly up boards. We got the Steelers grabbing a safety in James Williams. Ridiculous size, this James Williams. Atta to you, baby, to you. The Hurricanes got good defensive prospects. It's just their offense is terrible. But we get someone to go next to Fitzpatrick. James Williams, man, I think could be a stud. Could end up being the top safety in this class. And then the Saints, let me whip out the pronunciation. This was a guy I did an eval on before this season, and I have him currently listed. If you follow me on the Patreon, then you have access to my like full prospect rankings, my full big board, and I currently have Princely. Let me get the pronunciation. Uman El Iling. There we go. It's probably still not pronounced right. That's a hell of a last name. But you can find him. He's got a YouTube channel. Fun fact. D1 Princely. He hasn't posted in like a year and a half, though. But he is really, since Brent Cox was removed from the team, he's really turned it up. And pass rush has been lacking for the Saints. I imagine if they're here 28th overall, that they got like a Derek Carr or some sort of maybe like mid-tier quarterback that led them to a solid record. So we're going with the pass rush. Like Cameron Jordan's having, I think, his worst season since being a rookie. So it's like the defense in general is just down for the Saints. And then our final picks here, we got Travion Henderson, running back at Ohio State. It's the Bills. This feels like a luxury pick. But Henderson's got the best size. The other two running backs that I considered here was Bucky Irvin, who his size is kind of like and same with Donovan Edwards, the Michigan running back. Henderson's just got the better size. He's been limited this year because of injury, so I think he's likely going to be running back 1. I don't know if there's going to be a running back I have a first round grade on though in next draft. Kalen Bullock has been amazing for USC. 6'2", he's like 178, 175. I imagine he can put more weight on, so it's real back. But this guy's been amazing in the second year for USC, and Dolphins get a replacement for Eric Rowe. They got Brandon Jones there, but a lot of teams run 3 safety sets. The Vikings I have here winning the earliest win in the NFC. Congratulations, you won my randomized method of who drafts where. So I figured, hey, I wanted to find a non-Power 5 prospect to highlight, and Josiah Stewart, a guy that needs to still gain size but has been exceptionally disruptive for Coastal Carolina. He has 80 pressures and 18 sacks over the last 2 seasons. This season has been a bit of a down in terms of the sack production, but his pass rush, his pressures and his pass rush win rate is about the same from the year before. It's just like you're looking at he's creating similar pressure. It's just not always ending in sacks for him this year. So a guy that does need to get more weight up, needs to grow into his body, might have limitations in terms of length and stuff. But again, since I haven't really highlighted a lot of people in the 2024 class. Yeah, I don't plan on doing that till the summer. He was one of the first guys that I was like, okay, here's a guy from a non-power school that I could probably highlight. It's not saying he's going to be a first rounder, but he was really the only one I have on my list that made sense at this pick. Zadarius, I think, is a free agent after the 2023 season. Daniil Hunter feels like he's always on the trade block. So there's my reason for that. So Super Bowl winners aren't the Houston Texans. It happened to be the Cleveland Browns. I'm so happy that the Browns traded away this pick to the Texans, so I don't have to talk about Monsieur Watson and whatnot. But Texans, I'm going Jermaine Burton. I think this was a guy that I really coming into the 2023 season. Or the 2022 season for college football, I projected him to be a breakout candidate, transferring from Georgia, especially with Bryce Young there, and it just didn't really come to fruition. But he has played well at bits and pieces with Bryce Young this year, and you'd be pairing him back up with Bryce Young here. So just wanted to highlight him here, and let's go ahead and talk about some of the guys that didn't make this draft. That I would have loved and been able to fit in, just couldn't find a spot for. There's that Georgia tackle, not Broderick Jones, but the other side. I haven't really watched much of him, so I couldn't really give you an opinion on him, but I'm hearing a lot of good things about him. There's why don't I just open my spreadsheet for 2024? That's right, I already got a spreadsheet working. It's very bare bones. It just has lists of names of guys that I really can't wait to watch. I'm not going to be that high on JJ McCarthy. Side note, I'm just not. I think there's a lot of fine tuning to his game, and he probably feels better day 2 or maybe even 6 around for another year. There's Tyler Van Dyke, who freaking Hurricanes, dude, just freaking Hurricanes. This will be a guy I watch that I'm excited to. Carson Steele, running back from Ball State. Watch out. Like, I'm hoping to really like him because he's one of the force miss tackle, one of the guys with the higher force miss tackle rate in college football currently. There's other guys here like A.D. Mitchell, Georgia, Troy Franklin, Oregon. Was it Bo Collins, Clemson, Mario Williams, USC, that didn't get mentioned in here, but yeah, I'll mention them now. I think honestly Mario Williams is probably like the best one of that, or at least he's the most productive. Though Troy Franklin's had a freaking monster year. I don't really like, a lot of people like Jatavion Sanders, the Texas tight end, so that might be an interesting guy. I've only watched him in like little spurts. Don't really have an actual opinion on him. Amyris Mims, that's the Georgia guy. Okay. As far as the interior, Christian Mahogany was a guy that I actually evaluated, but what happened? Did he tear his ACL? Something happened, and he missed the whole season for Boston College, so that's a guy I can't wait for to come out. I think he's going to be a solid guy. Tyleik Williams, I mentioned him in the video, but he didn't make the list. There's just too many defensive interior class guys to highlight. There's Brett Johnson, who had his second season-ending injury, who's likely coming back. Corey Foreman, who's really been stuck in a rotation role there for USC. In terms of linebacker, it's not wild. I actually mentioned all the cornerbacks I wanted to, but let's look at this safety class. Like Rod Moore, I really wanted to put Rod Moore on here, and it just didn't happen. Alex from Hail Mary Sports was telling me he really likes Dante Trader Jr. out of Maryland. Haven't watched him. Excited to. I've heard good things about Cole Bishop. I didn't include Andrew Mukuba, something like that, out of Clemson, because it's been a weird year for him. But he's a guy that a lot of people like, but I really wanted to mention the other guys because he gets me hot and bothered. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. As always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.